Bam. All right. So anybody that's live on Twitch right now, holla at your boy. Enter the chat room, and we can get it rocking. Made some new improvements, as people who follow could tell. Yeah. Today, I got a bomb-ass guest today. Hold up. There we go. I got a bomb-ass guest today, and I don't know what happened to his screen just now.
Hey, hold on just a second, man. I'm still here, though.
He's still here, though. I can hear him. Y'all can't hear him yet live, but I'm going to get him on here so we can get this rocking. There we go. Of course. And then, of course, this turns off. Now we back on. Okay. Don't touch anything. There we go. Okay, so now I'm just waiting for it. There he is. There he is. So, ladies and gentlemen, through all the technical difficulties and bullshit, I'm going to click in my brother right now. Bam. So, now, bro, I know you can't see what's going on, and obviously you're not logged into Twitch yet, so you can't see what's going on. But
don't worry, I'm gonna work that out.
Yeah.
I'm working it out as we speak.
That's what I'm talking about. It's just trial and error as we go, folks. Trial and error as we go. But for those of you who follow me, man, thank y'all for following. It's been a crazy last couple months. I think this is going to end up being Lockdown Chronicles 7 or Lockdown Chronicles 8. I can't remember which one I'm on now, but you can catch 1 through 6 on my YouTube page. Just look up the D Johnson Experience, and you'll see the emblem and everything on there. But I have other podcasts, but this is Lockdown Chronicles because we're all in the house. Hopefully y'all was in the house too. And but now I got my older brother here who I just have to say, man, one of the reasons why I brought you on is because so people can be like, because we always get like mixed up. So he thinks I'm him, and people think I'm him, and people think he's me, and it's totally different. It's totally different. And I knew in my other recording, I had it. I even said, which I deleted, but my other recording before this, I was like, I'm gonna have my hat forward instead of backwards because I knew you was gonna have your hat backwards, and so I put it like that. In fact, let me get this one here. Give you full screen. Bam. There we go. And so, anyway, man, what's been going on with you, man? What's the last 5 months? I know we haven't been able to work.
You know, that's a loaded question. There's a whole bunch been going on, man. It's it's like getting out of work, because I was working at the bar as a DJ.
Right.
And then, they came in, what was it, the day before St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And they canceled us out, said, we were done. That's when everything went in full lockdown, and I went with it for a while.
Yeah.
It was stressful because, just trying to figure out everything else, money,
and you guys just moved as well. Well, not just moved, but you're still kind of settling in, and
yeah. Because that puts us like 3 months here at the new place.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting. It was different. And so, just kind of went with it. We kept going. We kept going, and we just did our thing. Just like I took full advantage of just being able to, just chill out on the weekends. Haven't done that in 12 years.
Yep.
It got old quick though.
Yeah. Well, there's only so much you can do, and then you're like, all right, I've done everything. So now what? Shit's crazy.
Sorry, hold on. It's like, man, my kid's over here yelling, man. Just walk in the door, turn and look. The iPad is right there, attached to a red cord, man.
I love
Like,
it.
see, it's like, man, it's like kids, bro. See, yeah, that's another thing, man. It's like, you know, I went to school. I went to school to become a teacher, and
Yeah.
I wasn't being expected to thrown back into it, and you know that happened. Bro, I was like, man, my kids, bro, my kids, bro. Let me tell you, it's like I needed a vacation after a week. I was like, oh yeah, y'all on spring break, and then they were just like, actually,
Yeah.
actually, you know, they ain't coming back. I was just like, shit.
Exactly. I think a lot of parents were like that too, man. Especially if you have young ones, you know, the teenage ones, you're like, okay, well, the young ones though, that's a different level. But, what did you think when it came down to where they're just not coming back, and even next year will probably be remote on like tablets and stuff?
Well, once they let us know that you know they weren't coming back, and then they announced you know recently that they were going to do distance learning. This happened.
Right.
A lot of this.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. 1000%.
I just sat there and I was just like, well, I mean, you know, it's like we got to do what we got to do. I think, you know, they were learning how to go about all this distance learning when all this stuff started.
Right.
So, you know, but I feel like, you know, it's a double-edged sword. It's like cool because, you know, it's like I know that I can take control of my kids getting their work done and all that. But at the same time, I feel like it's doing an injustice to the kids the way the system was set up, like before, like just at the end, because I don't think that the kids are getting what they actually need from school.
Right.
And so, you know, it's like I know it's like I do what I can and do a bunch of extra stuff to, you know, try to help my kids, but at the same time, it's that it's more than just, you know, them sitting down and doing work.
Right.
You know, when I look at it, when I'm looking at what they're actually putting out for the kids to do work, they were literally only putting out like, you know, 2 hours of work a day.
Yep.
I was like, well, then, you know, what the hell were y'all doing the rest of the 8 hours of school?
Exactly.
And so, you know, it's like, I understand. It's like, yeah, you can just pretty much just go on your own, do it. But, you know, at this point, it's like, you know, what are we doing to the kids in the long run?
Right.
You know, how, you know, when this pandemic is over, what is going to happen to those students? Like, take our seniors, for example, who are going into distance learning.
Right.
Who are going to be doing distance learning. What's happening to them? You know, pandemic over, they go to college, but they're not completely prepared anymore.
Right. That's
or,
true.
You know, if they're even prepared to go to college at all, because how are you going to do that?
Exactly.
Like, you know, So it's been a tough road. It's been a drunk road.
Hey man, you know, liquor sales went up by like 500%, man. It's
yeah, I mean, 400% of that was mine.
Yeah, it's been crazy, man. It's not only the like the school shit, but what's really been crazy is, for one, this virus is crazy, but for two, the lockdowns has been crazy. And then for three, the whole Black Lives Matter thing. And I wanted to kind of pick your brain on the Black Lives Matter thing, because a few years ago on Funk Shop TV, on a part, or what is it, an episode that's labeled like the blackout or the dark version, where we hosted it, remember, in that studio.
Yeah.
We were talking about like
Yeah, I remember that episode that we did.
yeah, and we were talking about, how it was kind of like the same conversation as far as like racial injustices and shit like that. We were talking because I think what was it? What was going on? Baltimore was there was some shit going on in Baltimore or something like that, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
There was a bunch of riots going on, and even then, it was like, yo, we gotta. There's something that we gotta do. Like, what my main concern is despite all the drama and despite all the bullshit that's going on, my main concern is, as far as being African American, is the spotlight. We have different spotlights on us right now, and I don't want the opportunity to get fucked up. And what's messed up is I think what we really have a chance to make a change or to educate people, but the problem is our we're getting lumped in together with rioters and things like that. So rioters and peaceful protesters are not the same thing, right? They all get lumped together for whatever the agenda or whatever the reason is. And there's peaceful protesters, which, if you're a peaceful protester out there watching this now or in the future, thank you very much for wanting change and understanding. But if you're somebody who's looting and rioting and taking advantage of the situation to loot and riot, I understand and some of you are angry and some of you don't know how to channel that negative energy, but tearing up your own cities isn't the way to do it, because we all got to stick together, especially local businesses. And
Right.
I'm not going to say that I was unhappy seeing like a Versace store or something like that getting broken, and something that's like big. I mean, I don't wish ill will towards
Right.
anything, but I'd rather have the big names fucked with rather than the mom and pop shops that have dumped all their money into it and that's all they have, and
and and that's a double-edged sword. We look at it, it's like, riders and stuff aren't hitting this,
right,
and also that it comes back to a little bit with the virus too, because I mean, small businesses are being attacked not by rioters, but now by the government,
right,
with local governments and stuff.
right,
Like, look how many places have closed down, and it's like some places have, you know there's those people in the riots that they're just there for anarchy. They're not
right,
there for any other reason except for to break shit.
right,
And and they're the ones that are going out attacking all these other businesses where you have other protesters, you have other rioters
right,
that are stopping these other dumbasses from, attacking these other businesses. See, and that's where there's a lot of I guess uh, uh, like non-cohesiveness,
right,
because the rioters, there's rioters that are rioting for, I'm not gonna say they're rioting for the good, because y'all shouldn't be out there breaking shit like that,
right,
like, I mean,
right,
it's like that ain't solving anything.
right.
But then you have the anarchists who are just there to, they're like the Joker from the Dark Knight. They just want to see the world burn.
Exactly.
And those are the ones that are attacking indiscriminately.
Right.
uh and that, that's the problem, I think, with this, because then, it's going on, and it falls under the guise of what the protest is, like the Black Lives Matter and all of that, and so then it just gets looped in all together with all of this. So then you got, the ignorant people on one side. I'm sorry if anybody's watching that like has an issue with me saying that, you haul at me. But you got like these ignorant people. It's like, I can say what I want, right?
Oh
I mean,
yeah, you
it's like
say
I'm okay. I ain't trying to censor myself, but they're like, "Fuck Black Lives Matter," and you're just like, why? Why you say that? They're like, because they're out there rioting, protesting. Like, listen, that's not the thing, and you're too ignorant to realize that there's people out there, like, it's like I don't support the Antifa like people. Like
Right. Right.
they they get out there and they do some dumb shit.
Right.
And and they're mixing their people in with a cause who people are just like wanting to protest. The riots were something completely different, and
Right.
I don't agree with the riots.
Me either.
I don't agree with the riots. I don't agree with the violence. I agree with the protesting. Peaceful protesting
Yes.
is fine with me. Everybody's like, "What's protesting?" Like I see ignorant people like, right, like, what's protesting gonna solve? Like, do you not know fucking history?
Right. Exactly. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
And so it's like, I'm just trying to, I, it's like some people are like, man, you can't play both sides. It's like, listen, I'm not playing both sides.
Right.
What I'm playing is I'm playing on the side of the just. You know what I'm saying?
For
I
sure.
don't know if that makes sense, but
For sure.
that's what it is. Hey, what's the link for your Twitter or Twitch?
For the Twitch, it is twitch.com/the THED capitalized Johnson. So it's the D Johnson.
All
Yeah, I think it's all
okay.
caps. I think it's all caps. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I ain't even worried about that. I'm just there. It is. Hey, look, I see myself now. I can pull it up, so I can. Now I can see what's going on in chat. Make sure nobody cussing me out right now because
Yeah,
I'll stop
yeah.
this
No,
shit.
ain't no chat, ain't no chat going on right now. Now, if we were doing this at night, and there was more views, because most of my viewers are all like they're night owls like we are, so they all
Yeah.
so you're all good. But maybe on YouTube. So basically what I do is I'll stream live like this, and then it's also recording obviously at the same time, and then you go and you edit it, right? So if your intro is, and you'll see when you rewatch this, it'll see starting soon, right? You have a starting soon screen, and
Yeah.
and then it could last up to 6 minutes, 10 minutes. Some people just put it on there so they can wait till they get viewers and then they go show their camera. But when you do that and you upload it to YouTube, no one wants to sit there for 6 minutes to 10 minutes while they see the same screen. So
Right. You edit that
yeah,
out.
you
Yeah.
edit it out and you make clips and stuff like that. And speaking of which, I want to get into the podcast that you, Cripe, and Andy or Andrew, is that what it is?
Adam.
Adam.
Yeah.
My bad, Adam. My fault. I don't think I've ever met you before, so my bad. Um, but I want to talk about that, man, because that's exciting. To me,
Yeah, no.
it's exciting.
So you asked me earlier, what's been going on, and like I said, it was like a bunch of schools, stuff like that. For a while, I got to go back to work for a couple of weeks, and then me and it's like I've had several fires and stuff like that, just like weekend stuff going on at the house.
Yeah.
Just to kind of we can social distance and
Right.
and
Right.
whatever the hell people want to call it, but basically it's just us sitting around a fire drinking and being stupid. But me and my boys, like we started a podcast. God, it was back in I think 2011, and it was called Two Thumbs Up Yours. And we couldn't.
I seen your guys' old
we
pictures of that. I seen like
yeah.
it was because the silhouettes were like this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, it was fun. It was fun back then, and like we did the podcast for a while, and but we weren't fully prepared for doing it. I mean, at that time, Apple Podcasts had just come out,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we weren't doing anything like that. Like we were mainly going off of just people like downloading the episodes off of like Mediafire or
Yep.
something like that, and calling it a day.
Right.
And so just like life happened, and we stopped. And we had recorded for I think a year. I think we did probably about God, a whole bunch of
Yeah,
episodes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And it was like life happened and we stopped for a while. And then a couple years back, I think it was back in 2016, we had got back together and decided that we wanted to try to pick it up again. And so we recorded an episode back then. Uh, and I think it didn't really go anywhere. I don't even think we had posted the episode. If I'm gonna be honest, we recorded it.
Right.
Uh, I think we might have put it up somewhere. Maybe it was SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
I think we posted it on SoundCloud, but we didn't really check on it. And then life happened some
Right.
more.
Right. For sure.
So then during this quarantine, we had all got together and we were just chilling. Like my buddy, he was in town and he just happened to be in town. And one of the nights I was, getting drunk and
Yeah.
having a fire.
Yeah.
And Sean came over too. So it was like me, Adam, and Sean, and we were sitting there talking. And it was like, listen, I was like, this, although it's a weird time, quarantine, it was like we might as well. Like, what do you guys think about starting it up again?
Right.
And we talked about it, and next thing you know, things were rolling.
Yeah.
And with there's a lot of things I know now that I didn't know back in 2011,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that came with me doing like live DJ streams on Twitch and just looking at stuff that I never had a chance to because I didn't have time.
Right.
And so it's like now we're let's see here, three episodes deep in the new podcast. We had switched names back in 2016. We kept the name,
Yeah.
but now it's like we're getting serious about it, and we actually are going for it. It's like our website. We got that that we're going to be working on, so we can get up a website pretty soon.
Yep.
We're on multiple podcast sites.
Yeah, I seen that. You guys are on a lot of audio sites, and also when I upload this to YouTube tomorrow or the next day, I'll copy all the links as well to where they can find you on those as well. So
word, yeah, because now we're on RadioCast, we're on Google Podcasts,
yeah,
we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. I think we're going to be we should be up on TuneIn. I think we're up on TuneIn now.
Yeah.
I got to go and check that out. I mean, there's like 8 other different podcast sites that, our podcast is up on now, and we're just getting going.
Right.
We have fun while we're doing it. I mean, I guess I should tell people is like, if I'm plugging, man.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Our podcast is called Real Unfocused, and basically we talk about movies, TV, video games, everything that's going on, everything that we've watched. Pretty much everything. And we have a couple sippy sips. And,
Yep.
And sit for an hour. I mean, like if you really want the aftermath of what we're doing during the show, you check out our hot mic, where we just after the show we just leave the mics recording for 30 minutes and chat, and most of that time by that time I'm a little bit loose and free.
Yes, you are.
What you hear, what you hear is just us being us, man. It's like, hey, we try to keep it with the podcast too. It's like I don't want to be just like systematic, and that's what we're trying not to be, because there's too many people out there that are that do the same thing that we do, but they're very systematic, and I don't like doing that, man. It's like I just like having fun.
Yeah.
And
You just turn
like,
on. You just hit the audio record or video record or whatever, and just let that shit fly, man.
Yeah, and it's like it's like back in the day, it was like we were drunken assholes. Like, I mean, literally, we like for a while, our studio name was the Drunken Delinquents, uh, and we sat down and we talked about that for about an hour,
Yeah.
and we decided to drop that because that's not what we want to put out. It's
Right.
not
Right.
who we are now. I mean, I mean, we still drink,
Right.
we still do our thing, but like
But that's not the
as
main focus.
yeah, going forward with who we are and what we do, and just just who we want to be.
Yeah.
It's like we decided that if somebody just sees drunken delinquents, they're just gonna think it's a bunch of like young assholes being drunk, being stupid, and
Right.
doing that. It's not. It's like, yeah, it's like we drink, we act dumb and stuff like that, but we know what we're talking about also.
Right.
So it's like, and we just want people to listen, man. And it's like, and you know what? It's like you don't even have to listen for the content, or listen for the substance that's in it. If you want to listen to something funny, come and listen to us banter for an hour.
Exactly.
And you might learn something, but we also hope that people are going to sit there and laugh their ass off too. So
Right.
it's like we have fun. So check us out on all the streaming platforms. I mean, pretty much anything you can think of, we're probably there. So at Real Unfocused,
Real
Twitter,
Unfocused,
Instagram,
y'all.
Facebook, and that's REEL, not REAL.
Right. Right.
Like a film reel.
I'm putting it up right now on the screen so people can see it. So everybody that's watching this right now, you can see it right up here. This is the emblem. I'm on the Instagram page right now. REELUNFOCUSED. Just for those who don't necessarily know how to spell the best. But yeah, please go and follow them right now. I want to see their channel blow up, and it's just I can definitely speak for Mr. Sean Kripe and my older brother here. I don't know what's his name, Adam. Adam, yeah. There it is, because I think I called him Andy earlier. Yeah, I don't know Adam, but if these two are kicking it with him, then that's all the proof I need. Go check these guys out. One of the main reasons why I wanted to have you on right now is to promote that, for 2 to catch up, for 3 just to kind of show that everybody can support everybody. There are some friends that I had. I still wish them well, but there are some friends that I had that also started a podcast, but they weren't into like networking or anything. They weren't into none of that. They were just like, and I said, look, you can come on mine, I can come on yours, everybody, cross pollinate or whatever. And they weren't too keen on that. So I mean, different strokes for different folks, whatever. But yeah, please go check them out, guys. I have no doubt one bit that this shit is I have no doubt that it's funny. But check these guys out. And then another thing that we're going through, for people out there that don't know, is Byron and I are also football coaches. And with the whole lockdown thing, it's definitely thrown a monkey wrench in a lot of plans that we were going to have through CCYF. We do CCYF football, which is basically Clark County Youth Football League. And for everybody else out there, it's like Pop Warner, kind of the same thing. It's just a different league or whatnot. But so I've been coaching I just finished my 16th, 17th year a few months back. And the last couple years I've been coaching with my brother Byron here, and he's been coaching for a while too. Had an undefeated season. I think, what was it, your second year coaching or first year?
Second.
Yeah.
Second year coaching, yeah.
Yeah.
Third year coaching.
Third year, yeah.
We went undefeated won the championship.
Yeah, that's awesome. And unfortunately, right now, because shit's locked down, we can't do what we love to do. Um, and at the end of the day, as an adult, I understand it sucks, and we have to abide by certain rules and all that. But it's super unfair for the kids. I'm not as bummed for me and my fellow coaches as I am for the kids.
Right.
It
Right.
it 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 definitely bums me out. Because we're supposed to be getting ready for football right now, and
I mean,
we're just not.
if we're gonna be honest, we would have started football practice last week,
Yes.
last Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's the 13th today, and so it's yeah, it's a messed up thing, man. Just in general, just the whole situation itself. We've been through SARS, we've been through anthrax, we've been through all these other swine flus and all this other stuff that seemingly just disappears after a while, after elections. But anyway, uh, I this shit right
I'll see
here.
what you did there.
Yeah. I just had to throw that in there. But this shit right here though, the shit that's right here that's going on, this is something else, man. We've just in my lifetime, I've never ever experienced having a lockdown, a citywide lockdown, let alone a countrywide lockdown. Um, and that in itself just creates division, right? Because you have those people that are like, oh, they just want to control us. And then you have those people that are like, well, health wise, I want to do the right thing. And so I don't know what it is, man, but this world, for whatever reason, functions off of fear and confusion. And there's a lot of confusion going on right now because it seems as though no one has the truth. No one knows the real numbers. You know, no one knows what's really
That was
cracking.
the truth right there.
Yeah.
That was the truth right there.
Yeah, that's
Nobody
about
has the
yeah,
truth.
exactly. That's about the only truth is no one has the truth. So yeah, man, I don't know where we go from here. I don't know how we how we go from where we're at now to a better tomorrow, I guess is what you'd say. But there's so much going on that it's hard to tackle any one thing full force, right? Because we have the virus, we have lockdown, we have Black Lives Matter, we have all this. I mean, school's not opening, and all just a bunch of shit, man. And on top of everything else, we've been locked down for 5 months. So, like, I don't know anybody who, in their right mind, after being locked down for so long, which in some cases is good. If you're somebody who needed that time off to kind of sit and reflect, you know, and kind of put in perspective, what am I going to do in the next couple years? I think the time off helped a lot of people, but the circumstances at which we're in just sucks.
Yeah.
You know, but the time off, like you said, the time off has allowed people like us who are nighttime entertainment people, it allowed us free time to do
Focus
other
on
things.
other passions.
Yeah, focus on
Yeah.
other things, and it's it's a learning curve, man. I miss it, but at the same time, you know, hey, the time off is okay, but I don't know when we're getting back to it, man. I don't know when we're gonna get back.
Yeah. You know, it's like I I was worried. I really was because I was just like, man, who? And, you know, at the beginning, like the beginning of this, I was just like, yeah. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna be out of work for a month and a half,
Yep, me too.
and then it just kept going, and then like finally, like we get fine, and it's like, yeah, we moved to phase 3. It's like I get to go back to work,
Yep.
and so I got to go back to work, and it was a good like 3 weekends. Man.
Yes. Yes, it was. Yes, it was, boy.
All right, yeah, I think I started the week before 4th of July, and then I moved, and then we went through July, and then they were just like, no, It was like, oh man, it felt so good. It felt good for me because I needed to be, I need like during the week, Sunday through like Sunday through Thursday is like I'm stay at home dad.
Yeah.
I do my thing because I make my money on the weekends.
Right. Right.
Uh, and so then Corona came, and then it was like I'm a stay at home dad Sunday through Sunday, and, and and so I didn't get my work on the weekends was like my little getaway.
Yeah. Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it,
For
it
sure.
was it was my little getaway to go and just play music, entertain people, have fun,
Right.
and then come home and start again.
Right. Right.
Uh, and then I wasn't getting that. It got to the point where Christina, she looked at me one day and she was like, "Listen, she's like, you're getting on my fucking nerves. I need you to go down." She literally said, she's like, "I need you to go downstairs to get drunk and play darts or something. Just get out of here." I was just like, all right.
Because you don't know what to do with yourself, man, with that much time, especially
Yeah.
doing it for years. You just said you were doing it for like 12 years. I've been doing it for quite a long damn time too. And it's like, you don't know what to do with yourself with so much time, because there's at least for me, when the closer it gets to nighttime, everyone has a routine, right? So when it gets about 5:36, you're like, okay, I have to start thinking about my night and what's going to happen and all this other shit.
Right.
And it's strange, man. It's strange not getting ready to go entertain people.
Yeah. It's like it put because it's like we like you said earlier, we're night owls,
right.
and we work on different schedules. So like 5 o'clock, I'm ready to take a nap for an hour, and then I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And like with the schedule going, like trying to work back, it's like, yeah, I haven't been to work for last like 2-3 weekends, but 2 weekends. I'm like sitting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, like, shit, I gotta get up at like 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I need to go to fucking bed.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy going to sleep before 4 a.m., 5 a.m., sometimes 6 a.m., depending on what's cracking, depending on what's going on. It's very strange going to bed at what I call normal people time.
Right.
And any DJs out there, or any music hosts, or any karaoke hosts, or any even bartenders and waitresses that work those type of hours, y'all understand, y'all get it. And a lot of them are hurting as well, because here in Washington State, where we live, at 10 p.m., no more alcohol sales, and how long is someone really going to stay at a bar or a club after they're done drinking and they can't order anymore? They're going to go home. And
right. And so, and the thing with it also is that bars can't stay open. It's like the place I work at is technically considered a restaurant lounge.
Yep.
So they can still serve food.
Yep.
But what's the point? Nobody's there for food. Everybody's there because they're trying to get their drink on.
That's how it is where I work too. That's exactly how it is where I work. And it's like, well, it defeats the purpose.
And you can't play pool. You can't do any of that. So, it's like, all right, well then, why would I stay here? And that's why a lot of people are, lot of bars that are still open, are restaurants and lounges. Excuse me.
Yep.
A lot of them are doing the drinks to go. And it's like my bar is actually about to start. I think doing it. They got. They're ordering these bags that you can seal with to-go drinks in them.
Really?
Selling, and then they found out that they could sell bottles too. So it's like, you come, you want to go to your after party at 10 o'clock.
Right.
The real party was like, well, we got what you need.
Right. Exactly.
and this brings me back to my point about, the government is screwing over uh, small businesses, because a lot of these businesses are closing because they can't do stuff like this. And right now it's like businesses are coming up with as many ideas that they can come up with,
yes,
just to stay open.
right,
And so let's talk. I mean, we're going to talk about it. It's like politics, Governor Jay Inslee.
yes,
Okay, now a lot of people don't like him.
right,
Okay? It's not that I don't like him, because I think he has some great things to say,
right,
on occasion.
right,
Especially when he's talking about people over in possibly Washington, D.C. We're not going to say any names,
right,
but he ain't afraid to call motherfuckers out.
right,
So,
right,
and I appreciate that. That's like, you gonna call bullshit, you call bullshit, but don't give me your bullshit,
right,
because then he gives us our bullshit. So like, it's like no entertainment at bars.
right,
Well, okay, but then you come out, what was it, last week, and say that the protests and stuff aren't contributing to COVID, like rising COVID things. So what's the difference in that?
right,
Than me being at the bar where we're enforcing people to wear face masks and to social distance and doing all that, and all I'm doing is playing music, but you ain't got no problem with these people out here taking over half your fucking city?
right, right.
Are you saying that ain't got nothing to do with the rising cases?
Right.
I was like, but you're putting it on the small businesses and people who make money off of these small businesses, because that's what we do.
Right, right,
I
right.
make money off of this small business, and now I'm not making any money. I mean, I'm gonna be real. When I went back to work, I went back to work for free.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And because we had to try to make money back. We had to, like, the bar had to try to make money back. I agreed to it because I was just like, cool, whatever. I was like, we'll work in tips. And you know what? I was like, I did really good because people were supporting.
Yep.
People were supporting.
Yes, they were.
It was like, dude, it was like, and so, it's like, I was making, good money.
Right.
Back from tips. But then, you're sitting there putting regulation on me, saying that I can't do it. And that's the problem. And that's why all these, like, look at Montage over in Portland.
Oh man,
how long has that place been there? And now it's closed. And they're like, oh, well, we're gonna open up a food truck.
A food truck.
And it's because, and I'm just like, it's not the same. And everybody keeps saying, well, this is the new normal. This is the new normal. Stop fucking saying that. It's like, listen,
right.
I'll say that because. Stop fucking saying that. It's not the new normal. I don't want to call this the new normal. Who wants to call this the fucking new normal?
No, not at all.
It's not fucking normal.
No, it's not normal. It's not.
It's not normal. It's bullshit. That's what it is. Like, that's, and it's if we would have, if leadership would have got on top of this instead of saying dumb shit like, well, it's almost April and the hot weather will kill the virus.
Right.
I mean, we're not going to say who said that, but we all know who the fuck said that. Things would be a lot different.
Things would be a lot different. Yes.
Look at Sweden and the Netherlands.
Yes. Right.
We haven't had any new cases or deaths.
Right.
For what is it? 106 days?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. And of course, when it comes to America, we're arrogant. We're ego runs most of everything here in America. Ego, power, and money basically runs most everything here. And unfortunately, we have a society that, and I'm not saying don't question your government. I'm not saying don't question the people that are supposed to be leading us, because that's how we get to change. That's how we get the right information, is we have to ask questions. And sometimes the people in power don't like that. But but it is what it is, because we need to know. The problem is there's so much confusion at the top right now. And the saying goes, shit rolls downhill. And so if you guys are confused all up here, how the fuck are we supposed to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what to do. The people that are supposed to be taking care of us and telling us what to do, they don't know what to do. So they're just saying stuff that sounds good. But while they're saying shit that sounds good, it's just justifying the conspiracy theorists, because the conspiracy theorists, they also have ideas and thoughts that they put in other people's heads that are confused, and they believe it because conspiracy theorists put shit together that makes it sound so real when a lot of things is just propaganda. Now, that's not to say that there isn't some real conspiracies that are going on. Epstein's one of them, but but there's also some bullshit conspiracy theorists, like the world is flat. And for anybody that's watching this now or watching it in the future on YouTube, don't come at me with that world is flat bullshit. Don't do it. Don't.
Like the world is flat. Well, like you're also stupid.
Yeah, and I don't and I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence, but come on, man.
I'll do it for you, man. Like this is your podcast. You can stick to whatever you want. It's like I'll insult the shit out of them. I'll take the flag. Like, come over to my page, talk some shit. Let's have some fun, man. Like,
it's crazy, bro. It's I don't know. I just think that there's a difference between real conspiracies and propaganda, but the problem is conspiracy theorists make everything sound so conspiracy like. That's why they're good at what they do. You know, if someone says like the footage of us landing on the moon in 1969. Some people think that shit was a production made in Burbank. You know what I mean? Like, but I know we went to the moon. I'm not saying we didn't go to the moon. The footage of us going to the moon, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I truly believe that we went to the moon, but I don't know if that's the footage from when we went to the moon. But that's here nor there. But what I'm saying is the time.
Some good ass scammers back in the 60s.
Yeah, hell yes, right? Hell yeah. I'm like, damn. It's you know, it's how is it that in 1969 we can get visuals from the moon, but yet my fucking cell phone through T-Mobile still doesn't have signal where I'm at, and I have to be on Wi-Fi. It's 2020, dog.
It's 2020, dog. I need some new satellites, baby.
You know, fuck, I'm about to open up my own cell phone tower in my backyard and be like, fuck you guys.
So I'm building that shit out of aluminum foil and tin cans.
Yes, man. There's still dead spots in 2020, but yet you send video in 1969 of us landing on the moon. Come on, man. How we having dead spots?
I got plenty of duct tape and extra beer cans in my recycling bin. We can deal with that there.
Exactly.
We got that.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
5G towers, baby.
Oh, and conspiracy theorists are on that one too. Conspiracy theorists are like, oh, that 5G is going to fuck us up. It's too many waves in the air. And I'm like, in my brain, so this is when the nerdy side comes out of me. I'm like, you have no idea how many waves are in the air that we just can't fucking see. They're around us constantly all the time. Just the 5G thing, though.
Well, it's 5G.
Yeah.
No, but you don't understand. It's a 5G tower.
Right. And it's like, what? Okay.
It's like, it's like every time I see some shit like that, it's like I just get like the Kevin Hart stare. Just,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, the shit is like, it's just, we live in a world where this is how messed up it is, right? We live in a world, or in a country anyway, where something happens and it's almost like you have to question everything. You have to question it because the mainstream media always turns things to make it fit their own agenda. And it's not necessarily comes out the truth. It comes out to their truth, you know? And then
Right.
when you go to a different TV network or read a different article that's published by a different entity, it doesn't match up. And if you look, you can, in fact, one of my I think it was Lockdown Chronicles 4 or something, but I put up side by side 4 different headlines for the same exact story, and how they're worded and what pictures they use, and it's all for a reason. It's so fucking weird. Like, people, you can tell you can tell the networks that support our president, and you can tell the networks that don't support our president. It's weird. And I think that even, yes, you have the freedom to vote and think highly of whoever you want, but I think if you're going to deliver the news, there shouldn't be an agenda to it. That should be the news.
You have the freedom to vote and like whoever you want, as long as you don't piss off somebody that disagrees with you.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. Like, what part of the game is that, bruh? You know, then what's the point? What's the point? You know what I'm saying?
and you know, it's funny because it's like I see people like CNN and MSNBC or fake news.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, so the other ones are real news, like,
Right.
or the other ones are pushing the agenda that you want us to believe
Exactly.
and that we think is fake news. It's like, listen,
Right.
all news is going to bend shit to their will,
Right.
which means that all news platforms are fake news,
Right.
except for the independents, like, who will just be like, hey, here's what it is.
Right.
Listen to it, believe it or don't. Like that.
I just,
You know,
I get confused, man, because it's like, if we didn't have so much confusion, if we didn't have so much, there's too many blank spaces in a lot of different stories. And when I think of how much shit that is hidden from the American people, especially on the higher ups, man, the higher ups, I mean, it goes way back to even like JFK, Marilyn Monroe days, where presidents were doing crooked shit back then. You know what I mean? It's not like we haven't had crooked presidents or presidents that they don't necessarily lie, but they withhold information, which is, to me, the same
Right.
fucking thing. So we haven't had that one perfect president. Now, everybody has in their mind who they prefer more than others. But I was on the other podcast that I'm a part of, the Funk Shop TV. You guys can check that out also on Twitch and YouTube, Funk Shop TV. We were talking about how just years ago, even last year, I was like, fuck the government, my vote doesn't count, this, that, and the other. And then I started educating myself and realizing that's the wrong attitude to have, because change won't happen. So if I want, and it sounds very cliche and whatever, but if I want change, I have to become change. And in order to become change, you have to educate yourself, right? So I educated myself. And what I found out was the presidency, vice presidency, and everything we vote on every 4 years, cool. But we also have the ability to vote on, like, secretaries of states and people that sit on the board of whatever every 2 years. And what a lot of people don't know is those are the positions that are most important. And if we can change those people every 2 years, we can eventually get somebody that's going to run the country the way it should be ran. But I was like, damn.
Instead of just spilling out executive orders every other weekend as
Right.
like a pastime while you're drinking a beer. I didn't say that.
Well, the thing is, it's boring as fuck, right? It's boring as shit. Like, the voter pamphlet is boring as shit, man. And
unless you're reading the voter pamphlet for Washington, you know.
Well, that's yeah.
Who was my favorite for governor of Washington? Good space guy.
Oh, yes.
That was his.
Yeah. Yes, yes. When you read the qualifications or what they think,
Oh
what
man.
they've done to be qualified for what they're running for. Like one of them was like he was the head of like Boy Scouts and YMCA community group or something, and I'm like,
Yeah, I saw
that
one
doesn't
that
mean
said
you can run a city, bro.
it was a high school student council.
Yeah. I mean, you got to start somewhere, but that doesn't mean you can run a state. You know what I'm saying? Because you handed out participation trophies doesn't mean you can run a state, bro. You know, so I was like, damn, anybody can run for this shit, and it's true. Anybody can run, and
Hey, listen, the first day of those prelims, Good Space Guy got like 3,000 votes, man.
even even some of their profile pictures, I'm like, damn, that's a mugshot. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
Damn. You know?
That's the funniest thing about politics, because everybody's like, my vote doesn't matter. But then you got shit like this,
Yes.
where 3,000 people voted for somebody
Right.
that named themselves Good Space Guy.
Right.
In one word, not like three,
Right.
like 4 separate words. Good Space Guy,
Right.
in one word.
Mm-hmm.
3,000 people voted for him, where those 3,000 votes could have swayed one way or another on something important.
Yes, exactly. But those are the people that didn't do research. They just look and like, oh, that's cool, and they click vote, and shit like that is one of the reasons why our country, one of the many, is in the state that it's in, because people aren't doing enough education. And I was one of those people, so I don't want to be. I just didn't want to be a hypocrite anymore and say, well, my fucking vote doesn't matter and all this shit, because it does. Because if there's enough people that think my vote doesn't matter, that shit adds up. Now, if you take 1 million people, and one person out of that million says, oh, my vote doesn't matter, well, it probably doesn't. But guess what? If that one vote influences 5,000, 10,000 people, now we got an issue. You know what I mean? Now we have a problem. And so I just had to educate myself, and it's super, 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 super important to vote. And being as though that I can't vote, and I haven't been able to vote since I was 18, I have to do some things to resolve that, so I'm able to vote as well. Because that was another thing is, well, I can't vote anyway, so I don't care, and that's a fucked up attitude to have too. And so I had to kind of check myself.
People gonna try to get all up in your business, bro. They gonna be like, hey, why can't you vote? But like, that's not your fucking business.
Yeah, don't worry about why I can't vote. The fact is, I can't
worry.
vote right now, and I haven't been able to vote since I was 18, so don't worry about that shit.
Don't worry.
What you need to worry about is I'm taking steps to fix it. That's what I'm saying. Whereas last year, I wouldn't have gave a shit. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have cared last year. But yeah, man, it's important. It's very important to, at least, if anything, even if you're still not going to vote, which is important, at least educate yourself so you know what's going on. So you know what the 36th seat in District 85 does. You know what I mean? Like, you educate yourself, which is probably just like the janitor's brother who's sitting in on a meeting, but he likes the title, so he gets that seat. You know what I mean? Even if it's something that fucking simple, you just, at least you have the wherewithal and understanding of, you know, how that shit works.
Make an informed adult decision.
Exactly.
Like don't be fucking stupid like that.
Right. And don't vote for somebody.
Don't be fucking stupid.
Right. And don't vote for somebody just because your friends voted for him or your family voted for him. Like, that's another issue I have. Don't just do something because someone else did something. Do your own fucking research, because you might not agree with what your friend is voting or how your family is voting, which is okay. People, we can have healthy disagreements, but let's talk about it, not argue about it. Like, people that either voted for Hillary or voted for Trump or voted for whoever, what I find is there's certain people, right? So there's people that are like, if you voted for Trump, fuck you, don't talk to me, go to hell. Or if you voted for Hillary, fuck you, go to hell, don't talk to me. And it's like, that doesn't solve anything. Like,
no.
It's let's say if you voted for Trump, Cool. I don't have an issue with it either way. If you voted for Hillary, I don't have an issue with it. But let's conversate. Let's have a conversation and say,
it's like, let's have a conversation, but like, don't sit there and be a complete asshole because somebody voted the other way or the other way. I mean, and you know, it's like that's the one thing that I saw like in this last 4 years is that this like just overwhelming feeling of divisiveness
yes,
has just blanketed this country.
yes,
And it's like, you know, like it pisses me off when I like hear people like still to this day 4 years later, but Obama, no, like we're not even like talking about that.
right,
It's like, let's have a conversation, but Obama, like, listen, that was 4 years ago, but now,
right,
right,
right.
And you know, it's like I can have healthy disagreements. I've had healthy disagreements with people over, you know, politics.
Right.
But what I've also and that's like 30% of the time, maybe 30. Like the other 70%, is, you know, arguing with dummies who I'm just like, all right, well now I'm just trolling you because
Right.
I don't even give a crap about this conversation because I know what you're gonna do.
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna spit some knowledge at you, and then you're gonna call me a inappropriate name for some shit.
Right.
And then we're just gonna be like, all right. And so, you know, it's like 70% of the conversations go that way.
Yeah, for real.
It's like, and you know, it's like the biggest thing is like, oh, it's like, you know, it's like all you libtards. Like, how many times have you seen that in the last 4 years?
Yes.
Like, it's pretty much in every post that anybody that is a Democrat now is a libtard.
Right.
Like, okay, well, and then you got you know, and it goes the same way. I don't know what we call Republicans, racist. Like,
I mean, they both start with an R. I mean, shit.
You know, like, I mean, I'm being completely serious about that. It's like you're either a libtard or you're a Republican / racist.
Right.
And it's like, no, it's not like that because I know Republicans that aren't racist.
Right.
I was like, and I know liberals who are, man, somebody gonna get me for saying it, but retarded.
Right.
Like, I was like, and then they want to sit there and talk about political incorrectness, and you calling somebody a libtard, man. It's like, people stopped using the word retard a long time ago, man.
Yeah. It's
you know, it's crazy.
It's just there's a lot of hypocritical shit going on when it comes to politics and all that. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Just everything, and I can't help but think that this is all the distraction for something bigger.
Yep. People are trying to keep us focused on other things, and people
something is going on.
Something else is going on, and nobody's paying attention to it.
Right. And I don't know what's gonna happen. I just have a feeling that like after the first of the year, something big's gonna like drop. Like, boom, this is what's going on, and it's like, fuck, we could have prevented this the whole time, but we were distracted by these two things. It's almost like there's one man, and he has, let's say he has a pocket full of money, and there's two people that see that man, and they devise a plan. One person's going to go get that guy's attention, while the other person sneaks up behind and snags money out of his pocket. That's what I feel what's going on right now is our attention is being put on this virus and being put on Black Lives Matter and being put on something else, and everyone's looking this direction while there's people behind us fucking with shit. That's what I kind of feel.
It's puppet master, man. It's like we're watching the puppet being controlled, but nobody's paying attention to what the puppet master is actually doing.
Exactly.
And that, you know, it's like, you know, that comes back to like conspiracy theorists and stuff like that about shadow governments. I mean, we ain't gonna get into that conversation, but I'm just saying that if you don't think that there's shadow governments, then I mean, like, I think there's something there's something else, you
Right.
know.
Oh, for sure.
And and you know that might just be me, but I don't think I'm dumb for thinking that.
Right.
Because there's something else going on.
Right. For sure. 100%. 100%. I just don't. It's just hard for me to believe that there isn't. You know. So, but yeah, man. This whole entire last 5 months has definitely. It's changed something, man. It showed. It allowed people to show their true colors. There's a lot of people who have shown their true colors who I was surprised, bro. I was surprised as fuck. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What? Like, for real? You're being for real? Like, there's people I spoke with, and I'm like, well, I didn't know that was your view on shit. Like, yo, okay. You know,
not even just like the past 5 months, this past 5 years. And, you know, speaking as like, you know, a black man.
Right.
These last 5 years has brought out, you know, people that I thought were, that like I've hung out with, that I've like interacted with, that we never had problems.
Right.
And a lot of this stuff over the past 5 years, and then even in like the past like couple months with all the protesting and stuff like that,
right,
has really showed me a lot of people that have this racist mentality that they're like, I'm not racist, but mentality.
Yes.
It's like, I'm not racist, but like, we'll put it in quotes. And, you know, I sit there and I look at it and I'm just like, it's like, we had a mutual respect. We've talked, we've had conversations, we've hung out, we've drank together, but I don't have any interest in associating with some of these people anymore.
Right,
like ever again. It's just like, because you think what you said was okay, and it wasn't.
Right.
It was like, well, I didn't mean. It's like I wasn't being racist. It's like, no, that's exactly what you were doing.
Right.
I was like, there's people I've known for, you know, like 13, 14 years, 15 years, and I'm just like, what the fuck would possess you to say something like that?
Right, for real.
And you know, and the thing about it is, it's like, it's not only just like white people or black people saying stuff about white people say, like, I've seen black friends of mine saying stuff about black people that I'm just like,
right.
So, and you know, the first thing that comes to mind is just like them just putting on a clown mask and saying sellout on the front. And it was just like, I can't believe you would say something so incredibly racist against your own people. And that's the thing I was talking about, is like this, there's a blanket of divisiveness that is just laying over this entire world, this entire country.
Right.
And it needs to stop.
I think, in my opinion, if everyone were to just communicate the right way, like, there's going to be things that we don't see eye to eye on, but that's okay that we don't see eye to eye on it. That's the thing, is it's okay that we don't see eye to eye, because if we seen eye to eye on everything, that wouldn't be good either. We wouldn't really have any kind of change, because everyone would just agree with everything, and it just, that's not the way either. We need to be free to express our own thoughts, but at the same time, we have to respect others' thoughts as well if we want our thoughts respected. And I think people forget it, and they just try to jam their thought and their belief down someone's throat, and if you don't believe or think this way, then fuck you. And it's like, that's not the way to do it.
No, not at all.
It just,
and that's what it is. it's that a lot of people now, and like, it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I was like, a lot of it has to do with the leadership of this country. I was like, Trump, I didn't like him. I haven't liked him for years. I didn't like him because of the what was that? The Apprentice. Like, he just got on my fucking nerves. And then it's just like I saw, like, over the course of his like run of leading up to his election.
Yeah.
I was just like, listen, I was like, it's not a matter of whether you think he's good or bad. It's the fact that he is going to divide this country.
Right.
And the second he got into office, the just overwhelming, suffocating feeling of racism,
right,
like flourished. And then you still have these people who's like, racism doesn't exist. It's like, well, you're stupid.
Right. If you don't think it does, then you're part of the problem. You know.
It was like, it was like, somebody caught a picture. Somebody caught a picture of somebody over in Salmon Creek here in Vancouver, with a sign that they took the time out of their day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it took 2 minutes. No, like, it was a sign that they posted on the back of their car that said, "Fuck George Floyd, fuck Black Lives Matter."
Whoa.
And posted it on the back of their truck. And it's like, people are sitting there, it's like, no, we're not arguing that George Floyd didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
What the protesters are talking about is that there are things that go on in this country. It's like, yes, I was like, not only black people are getting killed by white cops.
Right.
It's the fact that a lot of things that we see is black people getting brutalized by cops.
Right.
When I see a white dude standing around and you see the police video and they successfully arrest him without any provocation and he had a weapon.
Right.
But then this guy dies after they, beat him up in a truck and pulled him out of the police car after they already had him in, and then put their knee on his neck. When you got a dude running down the street taking a jog,
right,
and a couple of hillbillies get out of their truck and shoot him in the street for running down the street,
right,
exercising. This is the problem that we have in the country, and you got these people that are like, well, what about this white guy?
Right.
What about this white guy? It was like, listen, we're not condoning that either.
Right.
But it's not about, you're trying to make it about you. It's like when people say, what about this white guy, or what about this that's another thing that just it fuels the fire.
Yes.
for the movement, because it's like, listen, we as black people have been going through this, and everybody's like, well, like, dude, it's the 2000s. Or you had, it's like, listen, you don't know what I've had to deal with my entire life.
Yep.
I was like, so every time you tell me that, like, racism doesn't exist, my automatic response is fuck you, because I've lived through it.
Right.
I was like, I've lived through it. It was like, it was like, listen, I was like, never, and I'll use it for an example, because I'll put it out there. I was like, you know what? Never in your life were you sitting in a park, in a city park, and had to hide in a fucking playground structure because the KKK decided to roll up on the park and have a fucking meeting.
Right.
While you were sitting there playing with your brother.
Right.
I was like, guess who had to do that? Me. Because all of them were sitting there in their hoods when me and my brother, who were like, 8 and 9,
right,
had to hide in a fucking play structure because all we see is a bunch of hooded dudes.
Right.
That we knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And that's because my parents taught me what was that.
Right.
I was like, hey, you know what? there was no fucking way I was leaving out of there.
Because as soon as you would have ran, they would have been like, "Oh, it's sport. Now we're hunting. Now it's hunting season."
And see, people like are sitting there like, "Oh well, you know." And so when people tell me shit like, you know, racism doesn't exist, like situations like that, and that's just one example.
Right.
I'm sure you have plenty of examples.
Absolutely, 100%.
When people tell me it's like, oh yeah, well, it's like, listen, fuck off, because I've dealt with this.
Right.
It's like, you're a white guy. You're a white guy that doesn't understand that this still happens because you're not racist.
Right.
You don't believe it happened.
Right.
And it's like, open your fucking eyes. It does.
It does.
It does.
And the thing about it is that I don't, and granted, yes, there are times where, I mean, because it's a double-edged sword, right? So we also, there's African Americans that will try to use their color as an excuse for something as well, and I don't like that. I don't like that either. I don't like.
Hey man, don't even be PC about that. There's some black dudes that act ignorant and try to use that shit.
Yeah, for sure. For 100%.
They're dumb as fuck for doing it.
Yeah, and they're like, "Yo, I didn't get the job because this fucking white boy came in after me, and they gave him the job." And it's like, no, you didn't get the job, bro, because you didn't get past 4th fucking grade, dude. That's why you didn't fucking. You know, it's not because you're black, bro, at all. It's just because they have more qualifications than you. What pisses me off is when black people automatically just use their color as a card, like a get out of jail free card. And it's like, listen, man, if you're in the wrong, you're in the wrong no matter what fucking color you are, right? It's just, you're in the wrong. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that there isn't racism, because definitely there is racism. And when somebody says to me like, well, all lives matter, yes, okay, we get that. All lives do matter, but guess what? All lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter too. And for the people that get pissed off at the Black Lives Matter, well, white people matter and Mexicans matter and this matters and Native Americans matter and all. Yes, we get all that, but guess what? If we can get over this hurdle, we can tackle all those other races as well. We can fight for equality for everybody. But for right now, though, this is what's going on for right now, and this is a huge hurdle. We've been dealing with this bullshit in different forms for fucking ever since they brought us over here. You know what I'm saying?
The entire history of this country.
Yes, and so if we can, and this brings back what I was saying, is the spotlight is on us right now, and I don't want this to be fucked up by people by black people that are uneducated, and they're just acting off of raw emotion instead of acting off of logic and understanding and education, right? I understand that.
Right.
I understand that there's black people that are mad, and I get it. 100%. You have every right to be angry, every right to feel how you feel, but it's our responsibility to channel that anger the right way. It's not our fault that the system is fucked up, but it is our responsibility on how we act when something is not going right. And I'm freaked out, not freaked out, but I'm just concerned because, like I said, we do have the spotlight. We do have the microphone right now, and there are more people listening than ever, I think, right now. And I just don't want, we've already had a setback with Kanye's crazy ass, bro. Like, this dude right here, man, like, he needs help. He needs mental help.
So, I don't know. Like, I'm torn on. I'm torn on Kanye about. You know, it was like I was just reading a couple of things about him this week, and I was just like, you know, and there's some people that got like real good like info. It's like, you know, some of the stuff he was saying. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, let's go ahead and talk. Like, we're gonna skip past the South Carolina conference that he had.
Right.
Okay. But like, even in his like state of being in Wyoming and et cetera, like that, and saying the things he did about, you know, the Kardashians and shit like that, it was like, like, is it crazy talk or is it the media and them putting out what
trying to control the narrative,
trying to control the narrative about what he's saying and if it's really true,
right?
And so it's a I know he has the bipolar,
right?
He's bipolar, yeah, we know that,
right?
But there's something else going on that's triggering it, and that's not going to trigger him sitting there saying, or something is triggering him to say this stuff,
right?
So we can't just dismiss it as crazy Kanye.
That's true too. You're right.
Except for his shit in South Carolina, because that motherfucker was out of line for that shit.
Yes. Very much so. Very much so. I just, and he's been this way for quite some time. Even probably before he got famous, he was this way in some form or something, because I just truly believe that he was this way. And then the more famous he got, the more pressure. I can't even imagine the pressure it is to be someone that famous. But I don't know if the pressure got to him to the point of where his ego was so not in check that he feels that he can just do whatever he wants to do. For instance, when he fucking interrupted Taylor Swift to say Beyonce had the album of the year, not you. You know what I'm saying? Or even go back a couple years before that when he's like, George Bush doesn't like black people. And Michael Myers was like, and Chris,
was he wrong though?
Hey. And what's crazy is the only thing that will forever stick out in my head besides him saying that is seeing Michael Myers' reaction where he was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, he was.
And then,
so he just said that.
Yes, and then the very next camera they cut to is Chris Tucker, and he's staring at the camera with his big ass eyes, like,
just,
"Oh shit!"
Oh shit!
I was like, "Damn!" And when you rewatch it, because I've rewatched it a few times, when you rewatch it, you can tell that Kanye's just boiling, and it keeps going on and on and on, and he's just waiting for his time. And then he just was like, George Bush does not like black people. I was like, oh, shit. Just dropped the bomb. I was like, oh, my God.
Like, and the shit at the fan.
Yes. They couldn't go to a commercial break fast enough, bruh. I was like, oh shit. But it's stuff like that. So the thing I do like about Kanye is he does speak his mind, right? He speaks his mind, and he's going to tell you his opinion. Now, the way of going about doing it, that's a little suspect. But if he feels like he feels he has to go at it that way, then I mean, it is what it is. But I at the end of the day, I think his mental health is someone besides Kim needs to monitor his mental health. But
yeah,
at the same time, man, it's the spotlight is on us. And because people do look up to Kanye and the platform that he has, I don't want people that don't like this movement, I don't want them to be like, see what happens when we give you too much or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they can use him as an example to speak for all of us, and all of us don't think that way. You know what I mean? So that's my main concern, man. It's just like if we can all just take a step back and look at the situation and see how much opportunity we really have to change history, to change it, to actually help push forward what Martin Luther King wanted, and help push forward what Malcolm X wanted, and what all these people wanted. We have a chance to really help right now, man. And I'm a little freaked out because I just don't want the people that already see black people as being a nuisance to get that shit justified because of how some of us are acting. when some of us isn't the majority. You know what I mean? So that's
Right. You know, it's that, you know, it's like a lot of things going on, and it's like, and it brings me back to, you know, just talking about, you know, the people that I know that are that have just said stuff, and that we would consider, you know, out of this world, out of pocket,
right,
you know.
right,
And I saw, and I mean, I hate to use it as an example, but I saw this girl I've known for a while, and she, you know, I've never known her to date anything but black dudes.
right.
And then about 2 weeks ago, there was a picture that I saw her post up, and it was black people. You know, I'm gonna say they was ignorant because they was having their little ass kids holding up signs like "fuck the police" and shit like that. It was like, no, that's completely wrong.
Right. Right. That's the
But
wrong way to
it
go about it too.
it it, it the picture, yeah, it's like I saw the picture, but I couldn't focus on it
Right.
because of what she actually wrote, which was, "What is wrong with you people?"
I hate that.
And when I saw that, I immediately got pissed off. And I was just like, and I wrote her and I was like, listen, I was like, you have a half black daughter.
Right.
You should really rethink the way you actually said that. And she was just like, I don't need to rethink shit. Okay.
Yep. Those
Okay.
those are the ones that are too their ego is making their decision for them, man. They're too prideful, you know.
Yeah.
They're too prideful, and there's a time and a place for your pride and your ego, but right now is not that time, you know. And people don't like to get called out like that, and I think when black people call out other black people, but do it in the right way. Don't do it in a way where it's like, oh, motherfucker, what you talking about? Like, when
not unless you close friends.
yeah,
Man.
unless you hella close friends and you know, you can talk to somebody that way and they won't get mad. But like, for people like that, when they post something that probably the delivery should have been a little bit better, and you try to tell somebody that they're too, they made that post out of
They're too stuck.
right.
They're too stuck in their thinking to think anything other than what they actually said.
Right,
Like,
right, exactly. And it just comes down to they just want to get their point across. And it's like if you just would have took 5 more minutes to kind of think it through what you really wanted, it would have came out differently, you know. And I don't know, man. I just it's this world has just gotten I can't believe how crazy this world has gotten in 5 months. I can't believe how crazy it's gotten in 5 months. It's weird to me, man. It's and like I said, I had to educate myself in this whole election thing, because if we really want change in the future for our kids, then we have to be that change. And I know it sounds corny, but that shit is so real, man. I had to educate myself so I'm not part of the problem. Because for the last few years, yeah, I've been the part of the problem because I've said fuck voting. It doesn't matter. They're gonna vote in whoever they want. And the case is that they do that now because there's too many people that don't give a fuck. And so when people truly educate themselves and want to give a fuck, that's when they start getting like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because if too many people wake up and start studying, bro, they don't understand the real power we do have, you know, and not just as black people, but as a country in general. Like, if people just educated themselves and were able to communicate the right way, we would be such a powerful, like, we would be powerful, not just black people, but just people
in general.
Yeah, people in general. Yeah. We just the strength that we would have, but that's in a perfect world. We're far from it, and hopefully it doesn't have to get worse before it gets better. Hopefully we can go somewhere like in an up direction from here, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We'll know more after November. I tell you that. After these elections are over, you
Right?
know. So, but other than that, man,
We gonna see where people draw the line in the sand, baby. That's
exactly.
it.
Exactly, because let's just face it, man. Eventually, that's what it's going to have to be. Either you're for it or you're against it. There's no middle ground. Um, Either you're for change or you're against change, and that's fine to be for change and have I'm for change, but you can have that.
But
But don't say,
it's always that but.
right. But in that instance, it's fine. But don't have it be, well, I'm not racist, but like you were saying earlier, because as soon as you put that word but at the end of that particular sentence, then I'm like, okay, well, if you put that, that means that,
But is the precursor for bullshit.
yeah,
Like that.
exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
It's like,
Exactly.
listen. It's like, and I hate to make the funny ass analogy, but I mean, when we talk about butts, we know the next thing that's coming is shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so
It's true. I mean,
we're
that's
talking about butts. There's gonna be some shit.
exactly.
So.
Exactly. That's exactly right. But yeah, man, like I said, we have the spotlight on us right now. We have the microphone, so to speak, and I don't want the peaceful protesters getting lumped in with rioters and looters. Because even though we are one human being, we're all one thing.
One people.
We're all one people.
We should be.
And we should all be united and things like that. But there are going to be a few bad apples in a bunch, and I just don't want the few bad apples right now fucking up a bunch that's coming in the future for our kids as kids.
Right.
And because my main thought is the people that are looters and rioters, there are a percentage of them that have kids, and that scares me, because if they think it's okay to loot and riot, 20 years from now, their kids will be doing the same shit because they haven't learned. And,
yeah.
And so I really think that education is the key to everything, man. Education's the key to everything. Just my opinion.
It's like, I hate to quote Bible scriptures, but I'll do it anyway because I grew up. But it's like the Bible says, like, teach a child in the way it should go, and when it gets old, it will not depart.
Exactly.
And we got to teach our kids. We got to teach our kids the right way.
That's it.
We got to teach our kids to be better than us.
That's what it comes down to.
Plain and simple.
100%.
That's what it comes down to.
100%, man. And that's an uphill battle in itself, because social media has such a hold on our youngsters, and that's a whole nother battle in itself, is social media and things like that. And I think that plays a huge role in people's thinking as well, which we'll tackle that some other time, because that could be a whole nother fucking 3-hour conversation. That's
a whole conversation.
But man, I gotta tell you, I'd rather have a face-to-face with you, but this right here is awesome, because I haven't even been out to your new place yet, which is fucking mad disrespectful. But
no, bro, it's like I got a little one of those tally marks, bro, sitting downstairs in the bar.
Yes,
it's just like every time Duane says, "Hey, I'm gonna come over and see you," I just like, "Foop," and it says Duane didn't come.
Yep. Yep, and there's probably like 3 or 4 little shoops right now.
Nah, man, there's like 18. I sit there and I cry about it at least once a week.
Look, when I do come through, I'm gonna find that board and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna erase it a little bit. I'll be like, nah, I came every single time, bro, every single time. So, but I am gonna make my way over there, man, and see everybody, because I do miss everybody, man, and I got to tell you, seeing old Mac, bro, what the hell? What are y'all feeding him, man? He getting big as fuck, dude.
Bro, Cam is yeah, bro. He's something else, man. He's the smartest little boy.
Yo,
he's the one baby to rule them all, man.
That's that little Mac, boy. That's that little Mac. He's little Big Mac right there. I said, Cam, golly, boy. I'm like,
yeah, bro. Like he's something else, bro. He's
Little
something else.
I'm like, look at this kid. I said, this guy's a Mack truck. This little Mac right here, you know. But he just, yeah, he's growing. The shit's just it goes by so fast, man. And because of that, it's like, and obviously the timing is fucked up too because of the whole lockdown thing. But I'm gonna get out there. I need to see the acreage of land, and I need to see the house and see the. I need to see the football den, man. I need to see the man cave and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah, yes, sir.
So
Full bar, baby, and darts.
full bar and darts, man, and got a bunch of land outside too, and I'm just looking forward to seeing all that shit too, man. But I wanted to get you on here to kind of promote your guys's podcast and just kind of start networking a little bit. And again, I'm glad you kind of gave a little bit of a history of what you guys have been doing from, I mean, 10 years ago and 11 years ago and all that. And I really hope that you guys stay on top of it. Although life happens, and I understand that, but I'm willing to, like I said, network and advertise. Anytime you guys have an upcoming podcast, let me know. I'll promote it and all that kind of shit. And yeah, man,
Yeah,
it's what we got to
yeah,
do.
no doubt. It's I said, man, it's like I'm loving it. I'm loving being back to it. We're starting to get into our groove. You know, of course, we're gonna have you on the show.
Yeah.
I was like, when we do, I'm gonna give you some research. I'll be like, this is what we talking about, baby. You're gonna have to watch some shit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's like then come over for the podcast, man.
Yeah.
We'll do the podcast. We'll eat some food,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get going. We're gonna start having guests on. I think probably like next month. We
Okay.
got,
Yep.
it's like I got a couple people lined up that I'm definitely gonna have come and join us and just have a drink or two and have some fun. Just laugh for an hour and a half or so.
Right.
But yeah, it's like, man, it's like, hey, check us out. Again, Real Unfocused. And we just like to have a good time. New episodes are up every Monday. We got our hot mics up every Thursday, and
there it is.
We're just trying to do our thing.
That's what it is. And for people that are watching the live stream right now, I have their emblem. I have their cover up right now. Real Unfocused, and I like how the unfocused part is it's like strips of film, which is awesome. And I like the 3D glasses. I like the whole entire layout. I don't know who came up with this, but I gotta tell you, B, this shit is. I like it. I like the way it looks.
That's our dude Adam, man. It's like we were talking about it. We've been working on a lot of different things. It's like and we went through a process in the last 2 weeks of trying to get like a good I guess starting logo. I mean, this is still a work in progress.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's gonna evolve, but yeah, it's like we have like just a text logo, which it's like I did. We got the logo with our faces now, and
right,
and we're just doing the work to make ourselves something, man.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be fun.
Well,
it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to the journey.
I look forward to it as well. I'm going to be following very, very carefully just because you're entertaining, Sean's entertaining, and I'm sure Adam's entertaining as well. And I like what you guys are doing because I wasn't aware of the other times you guys were doing this. So I'm glad that I'm aware now and I can kind of jump on board and support you guys, man. So thank you for that.
Sir.
Thank you for coming on here. For anybody that watches this in the future, please go check out my brother, DJ Durty, as well. If you're looking for any kind of music stuff, weddings, whatever the case may be, I'll put his link obviously to his Facebook and all that kind of shit when I put this on YouTube. Big bro, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I will,
yeah, no doubt,
I will be seeing you soon. Love you too. I will be seeing you soon. Tell everybody at the house I said hello. I love them. And I'll holla at you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, man. Peace.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
Hey.
Oh, man. So just so y'all know, that was right there. Let me turn this music down a little bit. That was my older brother right there, y'all. And he's a great guy. He's a great guy. Y'all, please check him out. Please support their podcast. Like I said, I don't necessarily know Adam, but they're the co-signers. So if my brother and Mr. Sean Kripe agree with hanging around him and having him around them, then I support that as well. So anyway, I know this got off a little bit into some political stuff. And I apologize, but we're just catching up because our world right now is just in some bullshit turmoil. I don't know why that was so hard to say, but our world is in some turmoil, and it's just communication and education is going to get us out of this, y'all. So regardless of how you think, regardless of how you vote, regardless of anything, please just do me that one favor of educating yourself, and so we can make more informed decisions so our future isn't so hard as our present. All right. Other than that, y'all, you already know the deal. It's your man, Mr. D Johnson. I love y'all. Love yourself so we can love others. And I'll get back with you shortly. All right. Peace, y'all. Ow.